We've talked about Neovim's options, we've talked about Lua. Now let's talk about setting up plugins. There are a lot of different options when trying to set up your plugins. You can try to manually install the plugins themselves, sometimes even use a system manager for managing a few plugins. Use the built-in vim.pack, use dedicated Neovim plugin managers like vimplug, packet.nvim, rocks.nvim, lazy.nvim. I used to use vimplug back in the day when I started with Neovim, but eventually as my plugin setup grew bigger and more complicated, using vimplug was becoming a more pain in the ass. I'm gonna use Lazy.nvim for this video because it's the plugin manager that I've started to use after I switched from vimplug. It has a really nice TUI for managing your plugins, fast startup times thanks to automatic caching and bytecode compilation of Lua modules, async execution for improved performance, help tag generation from README files for plugins that don't have Vim docs, dev options and patterns for using local plugins, profiling tools to optimize performance, and a shitload of more features. Now let's try to install Lazy.nvim first. If you go to the docs, you're gonna see some blocks of code that shows how to install Lazy. Now, you can just copy and paste most of the stuff from there and then change it as you wish, but that's me as fuck. Let's first see what the code is actually trying to do. It says it tries to bootstrap Lazy.nvim first. It first sets the lazy path by appending the lazy.nvim directory with the vim data path. Then it uses libuv's fstat function to check if the directory exists. If it doesn't, it clones the git repo to that directory using vim.system function. If the git clone's exit status is in 0, it prints out an error message, then exits Neovim. If Neovim hasn't exited yet, it prepends the lazy path to Neovim's runtime path. Then it does rest of the plugin loading and config. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna set lazy path like before, then I'm gonna check if the lazy path exists already by using vim.uv.fstat function. I'm not gonna do a vim.loop or vim.uv check because vim.loop is deprecated and you should just use vim.uv. Instead of using vim.fn.system, I'm just gonna use vim.system because you should use that in Lua. Now vim.system can be used both asynchronously and synchronously, so I'm also gonna use a wait function for it. The original docs used the stable branch, but I'm just gonna use the main branch with a depth of 10. You can use a stable branch like the docs or the main branch like me. I'm gonna use vim.system's exit code to check if the git clone was properly done. You can check out the docs for vim.system to get a list of stuff that returns, or even do a vim.system call with the wait function inside of vim.print to check out what a system call returns. Then the lazy path gets prepended to the runtime path as usual. Now there are a shit ton of plugins that you can choose from. You might want to start with a theme. There are already famous themes for Neovim like Tokyo Night, Cat Pigeon, Kanagawa, Nightfox, Rose Pine, One Dark, Nordic, Gruffbox, and a whole lot more. I'm of course gonna use my own theme, Cyberpunk Neon. You can go berserk now and download every plugin you see on GitHub, or take it slowly and start your plugin configuration step by step. I've decided to talk about each plugin or plugin topic separately, but I'm gonna skim through some beginner plugins for people that are new and eager to get some plugins set up. Mason.nvim and my metapack.nvim are for installing your LSPs, formatters, and linters, and packages like that. NVim LSP config is the best plugin around for quickly setting up most LSPs and also has same defaults for a lot of them. NVim Treesitter, NVim Treesitter Context, NVim Treesitter Text Objects are for easily setting up Treesitter and having some cool features using it. NVim DApp and NVim DApp UI are for setting up debug adapters. Plugins like Cock.nvim, Cock-nvim, Mini.completion, NVim CMP, Blink CMP, and a lot of others are for autocompletion plugins. Telescope.nvim, Mini.pick, FZF Lua, and Snack NVim's Picker module are picker plugins. The picker plugins I mentioned before: NVim Tree Lua, All.nvim, Neotree.nvim, Telescope File Browser.nvim, Chat Tree, Yazi.nvim, NetRW.nvim, and a lot more plugins can be used for file management inside of Neovim. Lualine.nvim, Galaxyline.nvim, Feline.nvim, Winline.nvim, and a lot of other plugins are for out-of-the-box Statusline plugins. WhitchKey.nvim and Hydra.nvim can be used to show your keybinds. NVim auto pairs, autoclose.nvim, cogged pairs, and mini.pairs can be used for auto closing your pairs. Hardtime.nvim is for forcing good Vim habits. Dashboard.nvim, dashboard.nvim, alpha.nvim, Vim Startify, and a lot of other plugins are for a startup dashboard. Marcos type APs, colorpicker.nvim, Xeon T113's colorpicker.nvim, Occulch colorpicker.nvim, easycolor.nvim can be used for color pickers. Gitsigns.nvim, Vim Fugitive, Vim Gitgutter are Git plugins. Smoker7's hop.nvim, Vim EasyMotion, Vim Snake, leap.nvim, and flash.nvim can be used to jump around the visible part of a file really fast. Indent blankline.nvim can be used to show those VS Code indent lines. Navigator.nvim, tmux.nvim, Vim tmux navigator, zelejnav.nvim are for seamless navigations between your terminal multiplexers and Neovim splits. Noise.nvim and Vim Notify are for enhancing the Neovim UI. Presence.nvim, Chord.nvim, NeoChord are for Discord-rich presence for Neovim. NVim Web Devicons, mini.icons are for Nerdfonts supports and icon supports in Neovim. Holy shit, that was a lot of NVims. That's all for today, and I'll see you folks on the next one.